Why hello everybody, my name is FretX and welcome to Europa Universalis 5. Now this game is a absolute monster. If you like any type of grand strategy game, you want to control country over 500 years of human history and do pretty much whatever you want to do with your country, this is the game for you. Now what I thought I'd do with this video is it's an introduction, right? We're going to be going into a brand new game. I've not played in the region before, and I'm going to be playing it for an hour, so people can see what someone would do in a new area, what you got to do, what buttons you got to press, and just figure out where to go. Now, if you like me playing this game, by the way, after this video, I will be carrying on this very game live on stream for a few hours, and then playing it a lot over the next few days on stream as well. Now, without any further ado, let's jump into it, shall we? So, I want to just prepare people for this. There is a lot of countries in this game. I'm not sure exactly the full number, but I think it's well over thousands. You have a lot of opportunities in this. You can probably play this game for the rest of your life. It's absolutely insane. But there is I think, a very powerful introduction to it. When you load in for the first time, it is terrifying. Honestly, my brain was quivering. I couldn't quite grasp what was happening, but I played for a few hours. I slept on it, woke up, next morning, everything clicked. It was absolutely perfect. So people probably already know who I'm going to be playing as due to the thumbnail and title of this video, but we actually be playing our very first game as Sweden. Now, before I dive into that though, I just want to quickly say, unlike CK3, there really is no restrictions on the way you can play. I can play as the Pope. I can go and play as Zimbabwe. It really doesn't matter. Actually, every single country you see on the map right now is playable. So if you want to just be as this guy as well, you can. I think it's absolutely awesome. Now, the reason I want to play as Sweden is actually quite simple. I saw this a year and a half ago when there was a Tinto talk, which is like a developer diary. In that, they explain that at the game's start, there's a bunch of ancient religions that haven't quite died out yet. And one of them is actually Norse paganism. If we look over here, you'll see there is 4,000 Norse followers still in existence in Sweden. And I think there's 1,000 in Norway. Now, if you play the game, you probably don't even notice this happening, but within a few years, the Norse pagans will be wiped out by the Catholics, and that'll be it. They're gone forever. You can't get them back. But if we start a brand new game and we change a game setting, I can instantly convert myself over to the religion, and we can bring back the power of the Norse across the known world. I want to get vengeance, everybody. We're going to go back and take over England. We're going to sack Rome. We're going to take over Constantinople. I don't care. It's all going to go down, everybody. It's going to be glorious. So that is going to be the main thing I want to try and do in this game. Apart from that, it's going to be completely normal. There's no gimmicks or anything. I'm just simply going to play the game and just have a good time with it. So we will, though, be playing on Iron Man mode. So the main reason for this is I personally love achievements, and I want to get as many of them as possible. There is actually an achievement you can get specifically with Sweden for, I think it's called Lion of the North, where you win the war as a Protestant League. That may not be possible if we're playing as a Norse, but at the same time, there's other achievements to get as well, like general ones, like take over this much territory, that kind of thing. So with Iron Man mode on, it means that we can't say scum at all, of course. If we make a mistake, we're just screwed, everybody. The game auto-saves itself over every few months and it's gone. Everything else before that is just deleted into time itself. Now, one thing I need to try and do, if we go down this way, flavor, we need to change the origin conversion setting to allow present in country. This means any origin at all that we come across, I can switch to it right away, so we can immediately become a Norse. Otherwise, the game will auto-convert them away from me, which is going to be very upsetting. Also, before we do start, I want to quickly say I was extremely tempted to play on very hard mode. I'm doing it in my single player game as Byzantium Empire. I'm 150 years in and the AI is just ridiculous. I don't know if I can keep up with it the entire time. So just for the sake of this stream, we might go back and do a very hard mode later on. We'll play on normal mode. This also means we haven't got to worry about weird balance issues if the AI is way stronger than they should be at a certain point. Apart from that, everybody, I think we're good to go. Let's press play. Oh wait, this is the most important part. This will be known as the Old Gods. Let's put the Old Gods, shall we? The Old Gods saves. Excellent. Oh, the flashback. If anyone's watching this video at night time, I apologize for your eyes and also your room. Now, here we are. The game is very, very smooth when it goes into a new game. You're just all of a sudden there, apart from the flashbang. We have a lot of things to do, and I'm not going to try and explain them all, but I'm just going to just set things up. If you've got any questions at all, ask them on the stream in like an hour or so, but I will kind of explain what I'm doing as I'm playing. Now, at the start of the stream, you'll probably see if you've played one of these games before, we have a bunch of alerts. So if you're a new player, the game does kind of say, oh, by the way, you need some research. a lot of very helpful things. If you're not sure what's going on, it will save you a lot of pain and stop you from missing off pretty important things. So research is very important, of course. It literally unlocks everything in the game. We need to make sure we have this going all times, or we're going to just fall behind. Now, at the start of the game, we can only have one option because it's the start of the game. We are going to pick Organized Religion. This will give us more clerics in towns and cities, and also more literacy for those clerics as well. If you want to see a bit more detail, we can go into this screen here, and if you like researching in video games, this is going to be amazing. Look at all this. Now, because we actually start off in the Age of Traditions, as a European established country, believe it or not, we actually have all researched pretty much all of these already. We have 63 researches done out of 89. There is a little bit though over here where we haven't quite done it yet. This part of the map, Tetri, has not yet been done. So for now, we're going to grab just the clerics and literacy, but we'll do a tech probably one at a time for this video, just to explain what it will possibly do and how it helps us as a country. Done. So for other things though, we also have to pick our rivals, and of course, the most important thing about this entire run, switch over to becoming Norse. If we go over to society screen, religions, you'll see currently 98.72% of my country is Catholic. But I think I think the 4,180 people are more important. So we're going to immediately go over here and we're going to switch ourselves over to, not orthodoxy, that's the wrong one, to Norse paganism. Now, as a mechanic, every religion has its own little like gimmick, well, not gimmicks, but like modifiers, their own little like laws or sets of organizations. Like the church, for instance, has the Pope, the Holy See, as some will say. The pagans actually have the ability to go through and use slaves and raise slaves in wars. I don't really know if I want to use that particular part of the religion, but it's part of the deal, right? We're going to go in for it. Now, if I pick this, it will reduce my stability, which is very, very important, by 50. It's currently 29. Worry not, it can go all the way to negative 100%. But if you do that, you're going to probably die. But regardless, so a little bit of negative stability is not going to cause us too many problems at the start of the game here. Done. It's finished. Now, I want to point out, this game's going to be pretty weird because at this point in European history, the Catholics were, they didn't like it if you weren't Catholic. In fact, at the game's start, the Teutonic Order has the express purpose of invading the Grand Duchy of Lithuania because they're not Catholic. They're currently killing them as we speak, my poor pagan brethrens. Regardless, though, we may have a lot of attacks coming our way because we've already switched religions over. So back to my country itself, I want to quickly point out we're not actually playing as a super strong nation. So one of the main metrics I use at this game is going to be tax base. This is effectively just the overall income your country generates for you, and it's basically your general income. You can see mine is 23. That's not very good, by the way. If I go and look at a random place, let's look at Florence, for instance, in Italy. They already start the game off as 16.56 with, what, 7 provinces? Yeah. We're not that strong. We're big, but there's not a lot going on under the hood, unfortunately. Most of this land is just simply barren and desolate. Or at least, so I think anyway. Excellent. What's this? Possible religious aspect. Oh. So I haven't actually played as a Norse. I was waiting for it for this particular video. So it looks like I can pick different modifiers. Oh, this is cool. Odin. Oh, I can't even read some of these. I may be part of Swedish, but it doesn't mean I can speak their language. So to start here, so we got different modifiers. Odin is 5% literacy. We got fort defense, discipline, so better troops, maritime presence. That's huge, by the way. That we get that later on. That's going to be massive for. What's that noise? Is that a dog just barking in the background? That's going to be really good for like big maritime empires. Food production and pop growth. So literacy does everything in this game. The more literacy you have on average, the more research speed you get in anyway. But also it makes like the burghers are better at like trading or something. Like every kind of population type has a benefit from being more literate. So we want to make sure we get this for sure. So we will worship Odin. And we also just get a... There's more benefits than I thought there were. Wow. This is amazing. Okay, we'll definitely go for this though. We also get just a flat increase in research speed as well. So, perfect. We can only pick one though. So I guess that's going to be it for us on mission for this particular part of the game. But it's fine, don't worry about it. Done. Okay, so also we have to worry about rivals. Rivals in this game work really well, I gotta say. If you're rival with someone and they're at war, you can just join the war just to mess up their day. It's actually really fun. If my game is Byzantium, I was like, I'm going to attack Naples and Egypt. It's just a fun way of stopping your enemies. So, of course, we will be rivaling Denmark. Who else do we want to do? Scotland. I'm not going to pick big countries on purpose because I said I can join their wars. They can join my wars. So if I rival France, I won't be able to stop them. They'll just kill me. So the last one we can do, we can get one more. Poland's too powerful. Lithuania might be an ally because they're also pagan. We will pick a country that's probably not going to be main Navarre. If you haven't got enough rivals, you get a penalty. So that country's probably going to be like outstripped by my growth, and then it will just be reset and I can pick a better rival later on. Excellent. Okay, so we also have reforms, laws not codified. There's a lot of stuff to go through basically. Before we unpause though, there's going to be a lot of stuff to go through. Next thing I want to try and sort out is going to be cabinet members. Now in this game, cabinet members can do everything pretty much. Cabinet slots are probably the most important metric, I would say, with customizing your nation. For instance, this is the list of stuff they can do. They got all these different tasks they can sort out, and each one of them will improve your country in a certain aspect. Now, initially, there's no one doing these jobs, so you can still just set them to go, but they're not going to have any modifiers. They're going to be really slow at it. It's not a good idea. If we press this button here, though, we can actually assign people to become cabinet members. Now, this is where the game starts getting complicated. Like I said, if you don't understand what's happening, ask me questions later on the stream. But with these stats, each one will make certain jobs better. So you currently have 3 in the game. You've got admin, diplomacy, and military. We want to make sure we get a good diplomacy cabinet member and a good military cabinet member, because there's certain types of things, because the things we want to be doing mostly involve around those 2 aspects. Now, unfortunately for me, this guy here is actually a noble. You can see with that little castle, it means he's part of the noble estate. At the start of the game, nobles for most monarchies are really powerful. Out of every single bit of power in the entirety of Sweden, they own 42% of it, which means they're pretty terrifying. We want to be avoiding making them any stronger and probably reducing their power later on in the game as well. So just for the aspect of that, we're going to be picking the richest guy instead. Wait! He's Catholic. I guess we could have a Catholic priest on up. Why not, right? He's got good diplomacy stats. We'll take it. Done. We're also going to hire this guy here as well. Now, this bag means he is a burgher, which is, exactly how you say it. It means he's the merchant kind of class. They have shops, they run cities, they have trade routes, that kind of thing. Done. So these 2 people, let's start getting working right away. We want to probably convert culture. Oh, there's a lot of bad culture around and about over here. Let me have a look around a little bit first. So in this game, you have a lot of stuff to handle. It's honestly overwhelming. I think for the first bit, we're going to want to be using this guy to increase diplomatic reputation, just so we can try and get some improved relations going and get some alliances. So we'll get that sorted out there. And the military guy, we can use him to try and convert population over to my religion. Now, because we switched over to Norse, every part of the map already has a little bit of passive increase, if it's a core location. So if I go and look at Stockholm here, every month, we will convert 2 people. And that's modified by a lot of stuff as well. So eventually, it will convert over to being Norse, but it's going to be way too slow, unfortunately. So we actually have this guy here just doing it ourselves. So he starts... Where is it again? I've lost it already. It's going to be... There it is. Convert population. Get started. Go. Now you'll see we're now converting 91 a month instead, which is a lot faster. Now this is where the game gets a bit complicated. If you're playing this game for the first time, be careful if you start converting random regions, because it's scaled off this control metric here. If you try and convert a place of 0% control, this guy is doing literally nothing. So be careful when you're assigning actions. It's actually quite important. So that's that aspect sorted out for now. Next we have a law we can do. So apparently, assign just law policy. In this game, you have a lot of different like parliaments, estates, and laws. One of them is going to be apparently about my heir. Does he have to be my religion, or can he be any religion at all? So currently we have no policy. So if I go for any religion, we get some tolerance for heretics and heathens, which is handy because that's the entire country. and we get a bit of humanist value, which is really good. It means basically you're better at converting population to your culture rather than your religion. So pretty handy. Grab that. Done. Excellent. Next up, we have government reforms. Now, you can only get a few of these reforms, but as the game goes on, you can get a lot more and more. With the estates of the game, I already mentioned earlier that you have like power sharing. So I'm 15%. This is my direct crown control. The more crown power we have, the more share of the income and bonuses we get. So we want to have this to be as high as humanly possible as the game goes on. So if we go to reforms, we have loads of options here, as you can see. Well, I say loads. It's actually not that much. A lot of them are grayed out due to this, we haven't got enough humanism, stuff like that. So the initial ones we can pick, food production, serfdom, diplomatic capacity, interesting. I think what we do, we'll grab crown power, because this means that we just get more percentage of the income ourselves. And also, I think I'm going to be grabbing diplomatic traditions. This will give us more reputation again, more capacity to do diplomacy, and also move us towards considery. So this menu here is actually quite crazy and definitely overwhelming for a first-time viewer. It's a very general view of your country. It allows you to customize how your people behave as a whole. So as time goes on, if I pick the correct laws, I might switch from spiritualist, which currently gives you all these benefits, to humanist, which gives you different sets of benefits. So for instance, if I want to be humanist, I would be way better at converting populations to Swedish culture, but it'd be way harder to make them into Norse pagans. So depending on how you want to play, or if you want to role play, this screen is very important for you if you want to figure out where you want to try and go to. Now, one of the things we just picked was considery. This pretty much means we get better loyalty with subjects, and that's pretty much it. I mean, the rest of it is a bit more complicated for it right now, but better subjects is good, because I love vassal swarming in these games. What else have we got going on here? I think that's pretty much it, so I'm going to probably unpause any second now. We also just try and get some allies as well. So currently, if I look at the world map, no one wants to ally me because I'm a pagan. Damn it. Yeah, that's not good at all. You might get some allies if you have, like, the same rivals, but for the most part, people don't like me very much. Really, the Teutons aren't that bothered, but I don't think allying them would make a lot of sense. So instead, I'm going to try and improve relations with Poland and England as well. I probably won't ally England if we can do it, because England is constantly at war with France, and France is terrifying. So that's my general thoughts there. We also have a personal union with the Norwegians. Now, this will unfortunately break when I die, because I'm no longer Catholic. I'm pretty certain they will break away from me and we have to reconquer Norway. But at least for now, we're on good terms. They might help me in wars. We might have some integration, but these will not be a permanent ally at this point of the game. Done. Let's press play, shall we? Oh, achievement. Rule of law. Change of policy. Perfect. And Denmark has made me a rival. Perfect. So, what do we do first? Well, as the game's going to start off in a second, let's have a look around, shall we? I need to make as much money as possible. We currently make pretty much nothing, and plus 0.14 gold a month is pathetic. It really is just terrible. So what we'll do, we'll make sure our tax is set to automated mode, where they just go as high as they possibly can without annoying the estate. And we're also going to be reducing fort maintenance. Wait, why do we have so many forts? Oh, wow. We have so many castles. Interesting. So just for the sake of snowballing, we're actually going to be getting rid of... That's the wrong thing, sorry. Castle. We'll be deleting our castles, apart from our capital, just to save on money. So we got one over here. This may or may not be a good idea, depending on how your starting situation looks. But for me, castles are a lot of cash at the start of the game. I need to save money. Anyone else has a castle? I think that was pretty much it. Getting rid of these is immediately going to save us quite a bit of cash here. So, Bible. Ah, one over there. We'll leave that one alone, because I'm also going to be doing a vassal in a second as well. So I mentioned it earlier about control. This value here is how much percentage-wise I'm making from the location. If I make 100 pounds in this location, I'll be making 20. That's pretty much how that works. So we want to make sure we develop our lands in locations with high control, so it will allow us to become a lot more powerful. At the same time, though, I'm actually going to be splitting off this entire region of Finland as a vassal, because they can use the lands better than I can, and hopefully develop them while I'm busy developing the main core of Sweden. So if we go to the Diplomacy tab, we can actually start creating subjects. Now I believe, yes, I can just create the Jarldom of Finland right away. It's a historical nation. They are unfortunately going to be Catholic, but we can force them to convert to Norse as well. It's not a big deal. Let's make them a fiefdom. Let's go from there. Excellent. So Finland's tiny at the start here, but we can actually just give them land whenever we want to, as long as we are at peace. Excellent. It's a little bit finicky at times if you're doing a very big vassal, but it's not that bad. Done. So hopefully these guys will help us on wars and they'll start developing their own lands. Because they're already on the same location, they can build their own roads, they can make their own like internal economy. It should be fine. We will though force them to become our religion, which will piss them off, but at least they will start converting to the Norse gods as well. Yeah, excellent. Okay, let's go back down here, shall we? So already we're making £3.83, so our economy is looking a little bit better. We're currently spending a lot of stuff on diplomatic spending. This gives us all these benefits here, so we get more loyalty from subjects, more capacity for diplomats, all that kind of snazz. That's probably a bit too much for me, so we're going to be reducing this down a little bit. So we're still generating new diplomats, but we're not spending more than we possibly need. So hopefully, with all that, we're now looking at 4.81 gold a month, which is still not great, but it's better than before. Oh, 6 point, it's getting better. Things are going up. We also will make money from our vassal having his own money. We make like 20% of their income. So Scotland's the Academy rival. That's fine. I don't care about that. Excellent. So last thing I want to do before we actually play properly is go over to here. Trade. I want to make sure we automate trade for now because it's a lot of clicking and I want to make sure that AI just does it properly. If they're making me money, I'm okay with that. Excellent. So, capital city. Currently in our market, we are lacking clay, fur, fruits, fine cloth, and sturdy grains. So we want to make sure we have as much stuff built as possible. If I look at my capital itself, we can actually go over and start building tailor guilds to make our own very fine cloth. Now, as you can see on this little display here, oh, perfect. If I build one building, it will generate 3.17 base tax, pretty much, or profit. That's crazy, because the entire location currently makes 1.77. So, just this building alone is going to make us a lot of profit right now. I will point out, these figures will fluctuate, because other people will start building them elsewhere, people will start importing or exporting goods on the world market, a lot of things can change there. So initially, we will grab Tailor Guilds, Spinner Guild, and Jeweler. Probably a carpenter as well. That's a lot of my money gone, but these goods are generally used by the nobility. So if we have them in circulation, we should be making a lot of cash off them. The next thing I want to do is probably maximize marketplaces. This will allow us to have more trade routes open, so we can make more and more income from trade itself. Done. So, if I press pause again, you'll see that very slowly, we are now starting constructing these buildings. The game is very, very complicated, by the way, so, if you haven't already noticed. Even just building something, it requires materials. If you have a lot of materials, it's cheaper to build something. If you don't have the materials at all, you can't even start building it. So, there's a lot to take into consideration here. It would be impossible for me to try and do a tutorial in this game in an hour-long video with only 206 hours. It's just not going to work out. So, we're just going to play the game and say it'll be fine. Excellent. So, one thing I liked about Sweden, by the way, is we can actually start off already by colonizing new areas. Because we happen to have all this land here, we can try and just flow into it and make it part of our country. So, I think we want to be doing the coastline first, because it's a little bit easier to do stuff with. Oh, what's this? The 100 Years' War has begun! Excellent. So there's a lot of historical events in this game. If I press this button here, you can now see there's a new situation in Europe where these two are going to duke it out for 100 years. What either side, currently, perfectly balanced. One side has 38,000 troops, the other side has 28,000 troops. That's not correct, by the way. I am certain France has vastly more troops than that, but they will very briefly probably start trying to kill each other. But that's not my problem for now. Unless France conquers England, then it will be my problem because I want to conquer England. Okay, back over here again, shall we? So we also got cost of court and stability. So, something I like about this game, with various aspects like legitimacy, I'm currently spending money to increase it by 0.27 a month, right? I can spend more money to make it go faster. If I get up to 100% legitimacy, I will start actually spending less money because I will be having more crown power, which makes me more cash anyway, but also any excess money over the amount to keep it where it is, it will just not be spent. So I'll actually end up saving a bunch of money if I get this to 100% as soon as possible. Bohemia is my rival. That's not good. Oh, what's this? A brilliant Norwegian inventor from Norway, wow, what a shock, has come to seek our patronage and is falling out with the monarchy. So if we take him in, we get +5 research points. Always take research points, everybody. I don't care what happens. Research is very hard to increase, so any +5 is literally, what, 20% of this technology? We just zoom through time itself, so always take that if you see it. Excellent. Now, the same thing as well, I also make sure we improve stability as much as possible as well, but we can't actually afford it if we do it this way. Oh, minting. I always mint just enough to reduce inflation. It gives us a little bit more cash. This will go up a lot, by the way, if we actually produce gold locally, or silver. Unfortunately, though, we haven't got access to those in our country right now, so it's not making us too much money. Yeah, so with stability, I think we have to just leave it off for now, unfortunately. It's a shame, but when we get some more cash, we'll start increasing stability faster. For now, though, I need money to improve the economy instead. So I'm going to mostly be playing on speed 3 in wars, and speed 4 on regular steam, just so we can get more of the game through. If you play on speed 5, this happens. It's very fast. You don't want to be doing that most of the time if you actually don't know what you're doing. It's going to be a disaster. So, what else is going on here? Incompetent ruler. Are you serious? Magnus. Don't tell me you're oh, he's terrible. He's got a 5 out of 100 stat in diplomacy? You're sad, that is. That's not good at all. What's this? Rebellion. This is a unique event for Sweden. Okay. So what can we do here? Okay, so looks like we can try and support separatists, which might escalate into some kind of war. We will support the Karelian independence fighters against Novgorod. Interesting. I'm going to say yes, because I want to cause some havoc and get a war early on. So let's just do for that. I'm sure it'll be fine, right? And we've also got another event which gives us efficiency of cabinet as well. These events are totally random. That one was at least anyway. So you might just have negative or positive events. It will just depend as time goes on. The Lord Republic of Novgorod has de-escalated the situation, chose not to challenge our supports. Interesting. So are they at war right away? No, not yet. But there is already going to be quite a few wars going on. We can't see them, but countries will be fighting each other across the map as the game begins here. It's going to be awesome. This game's AI, I know there was some controversy behind it. When I played the very first version of the game I got on the 21st of October, the AI was very passive. They did a patch 3 days ago. It's been amazing ever since. There's just constant war everywhere. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it anyway. I'm having a great time. Okay. Did I make these guys into Norse? I think I did. Yes, they are Norse. They're not going to be very happy about that, by the way, but they will very slowly, hopefully, convert people over to Norse as time goes on. Oh, we're losing money like crazy. Let's try and balance things out a little bit. It's because we're buying food. Some of our locations don't make enough food to actually sustain themselves, so it's costing us a whole gold coin, which is over here. We might have to invest in some kind of farm to stop that from happening. The last thing I want to do, though, is get debt, so we will temporarily reduce some aspects. Do you know what? Let's get rid of this, and then reduce a little bit of legitimacy instead. Hopefully it will stabilize itself. Sometimes traders change what they're doing, and it might temporarily cause a food disruption in the market. It went back up again. There you go. That's probably what that was. It was probably the traders messing around with the trade routes automatically. Good. So we've actually already finished, by the way, our very first building. There it is. We've already got loads built anyway, but the one I've built anyway. You can see it's making 4.24 profit for my entire building here, which is perfect. Okay, so we finished our very first technology. Let's pick another one. And also, a son has been born as well. Oh, can I change his name? Eric. No, we're going to call him Bjorn. Excellent. The Crown Prince Bjorn. We'll go back to our roots. Excellent. He might be terrible, by the way. That's probably going to happen to us. So, as I said earlier, though, that one building is already producing more than the rest of the space combined. But we don't make all the money in, though, by the way. Tax income is complicated in this game. This the estates in a location make all the money, and then you tax part of it. So you can see that I'm taxing a little bit off the peasants and the burghers here, but nothing off the clergy and the nobles. So it's complicated at first. When you get used to it, just put 20 hours in the game, guys. You'll be fine. Well, that's all I gotta say, right? Anyway, technology growth. We want to be going for literacy next. As I said before, we want to get as much literacy as possible so we can get more bonuses to the research speed. If I get 100% literacy, I get 100% research speed. So the more people that are smart, the better off we're going to be. Excellent. I'm not making as much money as I would like, by the way, so I do need more from somewhere. We have to try and etch it out somewhere. Now, early in the game, it's a bit awkward because you ideally want to have your cabinet and your armies being led by members of your crown. If you're a monarchy, nepotism is the best policy. If everyone is part of your family, you're making loads of excess crown power, which makes you yourself a lot stronger. We can't do that right now, though, so we're kind of stuck. Now, I could actually give out some estates or privileges to these fellas. This will make them happier, and they might pay me more taxes, which is what we need for money, right? Now, you can see that we got all these estates here. So let's do this while we pause in case I make a mistake. So the tribes, you don't always have a tribe estate. It looks like we got nearly 3,000 tribesmen in Sweden. Their bonuses are interesting, but honestly, I'm not going to be doing them first because they're probably going to be removed from my country later on. If we look over here, though, we have the peasants and we have the burghers. Now, the peasants are very much into freedom. I believe it or not, they want freedom, but they can do a few good things as well. So I'm just checking here, make sure they have good modifiers. So this one here, for instance, hunting permits, not good. Honestly, it's not very good. It reduces the noble estate's satisfaction for a very small amount of happiness from the peasants. I'd rather the nobles be happy than the peasants. I'm sorry, this is how it's going to have to be. So eventually I'll get rid of this. We've also got commoners in parliament, excellent, and commoners can migrate. That's a great thing for them. This is prime medieval period, by the way, so some people just weren't allowed to do such things. Now, these are the ones we can actually add into the game itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is create common militias. This will allow my peasants' levies, people are caught to fight in wars, 20% bigger. They're 25% better at fighting, and peasants are allowed to arm themselves. So think medieval America, everybody. Everyone's going to have a weapon. It's going to be glorious. Now, the best thing about this, because peasants start buying weapons, it means weapon makers are more profitable. So there's more demand. It's absolutely brilliant. So we'll grab that. Done. Now, you've got to be careful with this. If you assign a privilege, it will cost you a bit of legitimacy, which would reduce how quickly you get to 100. And also, it annoys the estates that are not getting the privilege as well. So if you do too much too quickly, they might rebel against you and you have a problem. So we're going to very slowly convert my privileges over to what I want for this nation as we play through the game here. Have we made more marketplaces? We have. Good. So this screen here is quite weird to look at in a way, but you've got different classes of population. So you've got nobles, clergy, burghers, laborers, soldiers, and peasants. You can also get tribesmen and slaves later on as well. So with this, we actually don't have enough trained burghers to run all the jobs for these buildings. So a lot of them actually aren't going to be activated at all. Now, luckily for us, every month we get 20 brand new trained people. So eventually this will fix itself, but be careful if you're starting the game off and you build too much in one location, because you're going to end up with just having a very, very long build queue, or sorry, training queue, I guess, for the population at hand there. There's loads of modifiers here. So back to this again. Can I make an alliance with anyone? So who was I trying? Poland and England. Oh, wow. So Poland's got too many relationships already. And England is nowhere near. There must be another ally I can get somewhere, right? Maybe like Wolgast in the Holy Roman Empire? Because they are naval based, so if they need to come over on boats to help me fight Norway, they can. Let's also improve relations with these guys here. Might work out, you never know. Okay, also because they're small, it'd be easy to make an alliance with them as well. So we've got a random event here. I can give them control of the monetary policy. So we have less inflation monetarily, which is this statistic here. But then we have less maximum tax. No way. I want as much tax as possible from the burghers. They're absolutely loaded with their trade routes, so I want to make sure I am making a lot of cash off them. Cool. Excellent. rebellious subjects, close to being us. Most of these things you can just ignore. It's fine. You got to be careful if you haven't got enough lumber and stuff, though, because it means you can't build new buildings. So there is a few things you do have to pay a little bit of attention to, or it's a problem. Do you know what I might do? Very temporarily, I might make this guy help out with the crown. And then we're switching back to converting the population. Because the sooner we get this to 100%, the sooner we start making money for the rest of my economic buildings and stuff. So it's quite important stuff there. Operating at 75% due to lack of jewelry. We should fix that ourselves because I've already put down a jewelry maker. So eventually, this guy will start producing domestic supply. What's this? Influencer is spreading stock code. There's nothing I can do about it. People will die. I have to accept it. Don't worry, later on you get the Black Plague and then it's just going to be even worse. So, as long as overall I don't lose the entire population of a place, they can regrow. People can populate places. It's not a problem. At least I hope so anyway. Excellent. Okay, so we have the cash here. We're now making 4.6. Let's get this guy back to doing other stuff again. Another son, Eric. I'll take it. Thank you very much. Because I'm playing on a higher speed than I normally do, things seem to be going a lot faster for me. Like, so many events are going on. I just flat out lose 11 ducats. Brilliant. Thank you so much, game, for that glorious boon. Damn it. I might give a privilege to the burgers as well. So before we do this, though, let's have a quick look. They're allowed to build roads, which is very, very good for automation. They have monthly prosperity and decentralization, also very, very good. And they just have flat plutocracy. Brilliant. Okay, so burgers have a lot of options with their privileges. And they tend to be more important as well. Let's have a look around, shall we? What do I want more than anything else at this point? Probably trade capacity, because trade income is very powerful at the start of the game because no one's got an economy built up. So right now we're making free gold from ducats from just trade alone. It's already pretty much my highest income source. So if we improve these guys' trade capacity by 10%, we get a little bit more money, and they like me more passively by 5%, so we can tax them more as well. What's this? Renew focus addition practices. So we have two options. We can get traditionalism, which basically makes having city-based economies worse, or we can get research points. Well, that seems like the one I want to get. So with these two modifiers, I always want to move towards capital economy anyway, because it's just simply the better one, I think, out of the two. Capital economy gives you reduced building costs and production efficiency, so all your buildings are 20% better than the alternative, where the other way around means you get better raw material output. Handy, but not what I want. Done. Excellent. And with that, we got another technology finish as well. Excellent. So if we dive back into here again, let's go through the tech tree a little bit, shall we? So we can do institution growth and these options down here. Now, I'm going to go for institution growth because this is how you unlock new tech trees. In a second, whenever it's going to be, we're going to unlock the Age of Renaissance. This will allow us to unlock 3 major tech trees: Renaissance, banking, and professional armies. There's also a generic one that everyone can pick right away, but you just have that automatically. Institutions are these concepts. So the quicker you get them in your territory, the faster you can start researching these advanced technologies. If I get professional armies, I can go down and start making guns. Which is amazing, by the way. You want to be making guns. If the game's just started and you get this tech first, you make insane amounts of money because no one in Europe's making guns at all. So you're just literally making unbelievable amounts of money from just 1 or 2 buildings. It's insane. Anyway, so with that in mind, institution growth first. Definitely. 100%. Excellent. Okay, so that's locked in, and we're going to wait a little bit longer before doing more privileges because the nobility and the Norse are a bit unhappy with us at the moment. Parliament can be cool. Okay, so Parliament is awesome. It basically lets you do a bunch of different modifiers. If we go into start one right away, we can pick what estates want. So all these different options here, a different estate would like to pass through. If it gets passed through, you get a bonus for a set amount of time. For instance, if I do this one here, we get plus 10 armistition, just flat out. Or if I go and do this one here, I get Or if I go and look at, for instance, Thai subjects, it reduces their liberty desire for an aspect. It's pretty awesome. Now, what I'm going to be doing, though, is going for the one with the highest possible success chance, which is going to be one for nobility. At the start of the game, you start with loads of laws that make no sense. They're all wrong. So you want to be trying to customize your laws to suit how you want to play the game. So I believe what we'll do, we will pick increase ties to neighbors. And we currently have 48.76% support for it. If it goes over 50%, you can do parliamentary requests, which is exactly what we want to be doing. So if I go over to support land privilege, yes. This will allow me to do a law change. What's this? What's this? That's actually not that bad. I might pick that. This gives us more maximum diplomats and considery, which is something we want to move towards ourselves. So I'm actually going to grant this privilege as well. And because I granted a privilege in this menu instead of the normal one, it didn't cost me any legitimacy, so pretty handy. Anyway, so ask for law change. Yes. So how is this going to work? I should have done this as a stream from day one. It's too complicated for a first hour video. Look at all this, everybody. If you're still watching at this point. We got all these options. Now, you can change over laws, and depending on what the law does, you get different benefits. For instance, if I go and look at the peasant levies, right now, I get slightly more peasant size, but they're worse at fighting. If I switch over, I can make noble levies, which means I get 25% levy combat power instead of negative 5%. It's a good idea. I think we might get that one first, though, thinking about it. Or do I want to get this one? Oh, it's a tough choice, everybody. It's a tough choice. I'll tell you what. I will get peasant levies, because if anyone fights me, more than likely, my peasants will be 30% better than everyone else's around me. So this is a given if you want to survive in wars, especially because we're the only Norse country on the planet. Yes. Now, if I'm lucky and I get an extra 20-odd% pilot support, I can do a second law as well, which I'm going to do right now. Excellent. There's a lot of modifier stack in this game. Oh, I've probably put everyone off this game at this point. I'm so sorry. And if you already want to play this game, you'll be watching someone else that's more established. That's the problem I face right now. Okay. So next up is change another law again. We have this fella here. So as it stands... Oh, do I want to pick this right away? I do. Distribution of power. This gives us negative 10% crown power, and it makes all the estates 2.5% more happy. That's pretty handy. But if I go down here, I can do favor the ruler. This will give me 20%, so really 30% more crown power, which makes me more powerful. It pisses everyone off, and I can tax them more. This is a route you want to take if you're crazy. So we're going to go this as well. Done. Excellent. Parliament's been resolved, everybody. Happy days. Okay. This will fail, by the way, because it's got 4% chance of seeding, so I will unfortunately get a -7 stability hit from it, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Okay, awesome. So before I got distracted too much there, we got £40. We might be able to buy some kind of upgrade somewhere. So if we have a look around, what would be the best use of my £40 is the question I'm going to ask here. If I, for instance, build another Tailor's Guild, in 3 years' time I make 61 ducats. Yeah, this game's really nerdy, I'm sorry. Also, if I go to RGOs, RGOs are essentially the raw resources from the locations themselves that get brought up into your country. The best one I can find is 24, so that's not worth it. We will instead build additional tailor guilds. Done. And that's me bankrupt once again. Perfect. Now, something that I needed to do, but I kind of got distracted, is we can also colonize these territories over here. I want to do that right away. I need £24. So we can start just colonizing these areas and making them ours, which means we get more passive resources, we get more population growth across the area, and we're just generally bigger as well. So I want to get that started as soon as possible. Okay. Again, run a little bit. When is this going to happen soon? Ends on May 1342. Oh, we've got 2 years' time, then we get Age of Reformation starting. Okay. I want to kind of kill Denmark. Is that another plague? A plague of smallpox? I just had influenza. Sorry. My population's just dying. Through no fault of my own, Stockholm is cursed. If you want to go on vacation in the medieval period, don't go to Stockholm. You'll get killed by a plague of some description before the Black Plague even spawns in. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so I'm going to go for colonies. I need £31. It scales off your income, by the way. I must make it more cash. We'll give it one more month, and I can start the colonization. That's fine. Don't worry about it. You can also use Parliament, by the way, to give you temporary increased tax measures. You can get temporary more troops, and also you can use them to create a claim on another country on the map. So there's a lot of uses for... What is this? The Kingdom of Denmark is still in debt, and we have the money to spare. Do I? Okay, you believe that game. We can offer to buy La Home. Oh! Give the offer. Before I go bankrupt, let's try and get the colony started. Because I can't afford £250. I want this one, yes. Colonial Charter. Indeed. You want to pick a population with a lot of people. So this would be our main location. Oh, do you want to do our main or secondary? Let's do Vasta Gotland instead. Done. Okay, guys. People from that location are going to start going over here and colonizing this territory for me. It's going to be brilliant. We've got it. I have brought locations off Denmark without even doing anything. So we now own Abo. I can't say Asbo, sorry. We now own Asbo. We now own Asbo and La Home. I don't know how to pronounce these names, so correct me in the comments, guys. It's fine. Done. So these locations come with fish and horses. Not great, if I'm being honest, but it's mine. It means they haven't got it, and I have it. That's what we want to take away from this situation. Let's increase my diplomat spending a little bit. Look at this negative income. No! Oh my god. In my defense, my budget was balanced until this happened, okay? You can't blame me for an event I didn't know existed, okay? What's going to happen in a second? We're going to go into debt. There you go. Oh, that's great. Brilliant. Yeah, got £378 of debt. Got 11 loans. Wow! So this now means we're losing an extra £2 per day to interest, which is also not great. And the estates own the loans as well. So the estates are making money off me for being terrible at managing my economy. That's essentially what's happened at this point. So that's not great. Okay. I think it's gone pretty well apart from that bit. What's the problem here? Okay. Oh, good. So while I was busy yappering away, we completed the Jura, which has no workers inside it. Probably because we haven't got access to silver or gold to produce the resources, or it could be because there's not enough workers still. That's probably more than likely. But we will eventually be making more money from this location, which I'm looking forward to. Okay, I'm actually just losing money passively now. That is a disaster. I can't believe it. It's probably because the colony is expensive. I didn't really take that into account. Maybe colonies this early on is not a good idea. The thing is, I haven't played this region before, so I'm not exactly sure if I should be doing this now or later. I'm trying to look around a little bit. I don't think anyone else can colonize this land apart from Norway, so we might just be able to take our time with it in the future. So we'll colonize this one. Apparently it's going to take quite a while, but once it's done, right? Like we have this location, we get all the extra resources, and then we just save money for the economy until we can actually afford to do these things in the future. Okay, money is in. Excellent. I also realize as well, Scania does not have the Nordic faith. I could try and force them to become... They're Danish? No. Can't have that. That's, they can't be the wrong culture. In this game, culture is more important than religion. I'm just going to flat out go and say it. If people are your culture, they join your armies. If they're not, you have to accept them as a separate culture. Basically, you want everyone in your kingdom to be one culture. That's what I personally try and go towards. So we want to make sure these guys are converting to our thing right away. If I try and annex them, I won't get any control from this location. It's too far away. So instead, I'm going to force them to become Swedish. They now hate me as well. It's okay. So this basically means these guys will now start converting the population over to Swedish, and when I eventually annex a location, we'll be better off for it. That's the general plan there. Okay, awesome. Everything's working exactly as I didn't plan. How long we got? We got 1 year and a few months until we become the next age. Technology is going pretty well as well. And we're working hard on other things. I might see if we can give an estate out to the... Let's do more estates. So, diplomats. Pop conversion speed. Ah! This one's bad. I have to get rid of it at some point. So, additionalism, I don't want that at all. Additionalism does this. That's the wrong one game. Additionalism does this. It gives you more stability for estates, but it means you have to spend 200 times more to accept an institution, so slower tech progression. The inverse, though, is you get more literacy. So it actually makes more sense to move away from additionalism as soon as possible. But I wanted this progress at this point, so we're going to give them a tradition anyway. So, what have we got? True faith. Culture capacity. You don't want to pick all of these, because they may not be what you're trying to do. Okay, out of all of these, I think we're going to probably grab this one here. It helps me a little tiny bit with my stability gain. So we'll grab this one in. Wait 1 second. And if we do this, you can see how it changes the other people's happiness. So this should mean that we can pick another estate on the burgers again. Done. What's this? Oh! We just get a flat 15% happiness in the nobility. Perfect. So we can probably do quite a few estates then. Why did the music get louder? My ears! What's going on? Let's have a look around a little bit, shall we? So I think we want to go then for increased production efficiency. All of my buildings just get 2.5% better at what they're doing. Yes. Also another one, because we can probably just squeeze it in. We'll go for reduced building costs as well. Excellent. This will mean, because they're generally happier, look, check that out, I now make more tax income. Money is flowing, everybody. Money is flowing into the coffers. Actually, it's not flowing in at all. That's because the legitimacy went down a little bit because I happen to be doing privileges. When that goes back up to maximum again, we should get into the positive once more. Excellent. Okay. High speed. Excellent. Excellent. But based on where you start, depends on how interesting your start of the game is. If you start as Scotland, you're in a civil war. If you start as the Byzantiums, you're probably dead already. Depending on where you start, depends on what's going on. For instance, there's already a war between England and France, which looks amazing. I shame I can't see the combat numbers. I imagine the war's quite terrifying. Oh, I can see the combat numbers. This is what I was talking about earlier. So England has 3,000 troops. France has 11,000. Yes. France in this game is terrifying. I'm being serious. Out of everyone I've had to fight, they are currently the hardest country to start near. You could also say the same if you start near the Mamluks. The Mamluks are also a big powerhouse of death and destruction. Technically, the Ottomans need to grow first. They might become a problem one day. The only other one I could probably think on top of my head is going to be Bohemia. At the start of the game, if you're in the HRE as Saxony, you're going to be in for a bad time. You will have to fight Bohemia very early on. In fact, are they fighting them right now? No, they're fighting someone else. But yeah, you got to be careful with that. Okay, awesome. I might... +10. I need to get diplomacy points. That's the problem. What we can do... I need to keep one on reserve in case there's a very quick action I got to take with diplomacy. So we'll let it tick up for a few days and we'll reduce this down to nothing. And apparently my Bjorn can get an education. Okay. So the children get a randomized trait. There is absolutely no correlation between who you marry and the kid's stats. I asked Johan directly in the Discord. It doesn't work that way. It's just completely random. So with this... we need to be careful. So you can try and do different education types. You can go for one stat in particular, or you can spend a lot of money and make them generally better at every stat. We can't afford that right now. We're poor. So instead, I'm going to be trying to get Bjorn here to become an amazing administrative educator. If you look at the stats for our ruler, 1 second. Wait, why can't I see the stats for our rulers? This guy got them. There you go. We want to have as high admin as possible because it reduces building costs and increases crown power. It's very important. I want to make sure that is maximized at all times or we're going to have a hard time here. Okay. Excellent, everybody. The economy is going well. Stability is absolutely perfect. We're very prestigious. It's all going as I planned. Oh, no. That's okay. We get rid of the happiness on the burger estate. And we've now got ourselves plus growth for institutions. So we haven't got that much left to research, have we? We could, in theory, wait a few days until... we'll just do it now. We'll just get one more tech in, and then we'll go to something else. So, technologies. We haven't got that many left, as I said a second ago. Let's go for... It's the La La song from Crusader Kings 3. So I'm just listening to the music. Let's go for a more diplomatic capacity for now. I actually haven't been listening to music for this game, by the way, because I know I'll be streaming it a lot. So I was like, I just won't listen to it at all. Just so it doesn't, like, I don't get overwhelmed if I'm playing for, like, 60 hours on stream or something. Okay, so we've now got ourselves one diplomat. If we go over here and reduce this down, we save a little bit of cash. We're still losing too much, though. And we're still waiting on legitimacy. It's still coming through. We'll get there soon, though. I might actually reduce this down temporarily. I don't want to go into debt, because I think debt reduces your crown power, and also increases inflation as well. So you want to avoid that at all costs, for my own personal sake. Though I say that I've already got 11 debts, so I'm clearly a hypocrite. Don't listen to what I'm saying at all, guys. Damn it. Why does it have to be this way? Let's reduce that down as well. It shouldn't be that much difference in this, to be fair. It's still going to be a few months until we cap it out. Buddy, I need your help again. Ooh, recovery effort. That has to be done. I won't do this the entire game, by the way. If I can get an ally, I will take it. Otherwise, I think we just use them for other things. If we go and have a look. Anyone want to ally me still? Negative 28 reasons. Negative 61. Negative 68. Oh, no. No one wants to be my friend. It's just like real life. We're never going to get an alliance with England, to be honest. So I think we're just stop improving relations. And is it the same for Sweden? Sorry, Poland? I'm Sweden. It's not as bad, to be fair. It's not as horrific. We'll leave that one on. I saved a little bit of income again, though. We can get rid of a bit more. And now we're making money again. Excellent. Wolgast is probably the only one that might ally me, if we're lucky. I need some kind of friend. Honestly, though, as I get further into the game, I normally just play with vassal swarms. I don't need allies at that point. I make allies. I am my own ally. That's how I want to play this game. Okay, awesome. Can you go back, my friend, to doing legitimacy? It doesn't give you that much, by the way. And if you're wondering, if you leave him on legitimacy, it does reduce the cost of court if it's maxed out. So it can actually be a way of saving a lot of money later in the game, if you are so inclined. But how's this Carney going, by the way? I haven't Carnized much in the game. I very, very briefly did it as a Scottish game last week. But I didn't really play enough to actually see how it functions properly. But unlike other games, it kind of like spreads out across the region. It's really cool. And you can create colonial subjects. They have like no economy in the New World, so you have to kind of like build a nation from scratch. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. Excellent. So everybody, I think apart from that, that is going to be it for this video. I went into this thinking that I would make a like first hour gameplay video. I probably put most people off the game without having like a hyper edited version of it, but I don't normally do a lot of editing, so if you like what you see, guys, I will be carrying on this game at the top of the hour. So literally in like 5 minutes or so, I'll be just streaming this game for 3 or 4 hours. I do intend to play this constantly for the next 3 or 4 days until release. I will be just streaming all day. Probably like from midday tomorrow, I'll just be doing like an 8-10 hour stream of this game, of this particular Sweden run. Apart from that, I hope that people have enjoyed the video. If it's coherent, I don't know. But I personally love this game. Honestly, When I first got it, I was terrified of it for the first 4 or 5 hours. When I woke up next day, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I'm enjoying it. At the end of that day, my life was over. I've been sleeping for 4 hours a day and just playing EU5. I've done like 16, 18 hours a day since the 21st of October. It's ruined my life. Apart from that, everybody, have a brilliant day. And if you want to watch the stream, I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye.